Hey, welcome back. It's late, isn't it? The kind of late where the world outside your window is just a quiet, dark hum, and the only light is the one from your screen. It's in these moments, when you're alone with your thoughts, that a knock at the door feels different, heavier. What if you answered it, and standing there were two children, pale under the streetlight, asking to come in? You'd help them, of course. Anyone would. But then you see their eyes. Solid, endless black, like pools of obsidian. And a cold dread, primal and inexplicable, washes over you. You suddenly know, with every fiber of your being, that you must not let them in. Hey, welcome back. I'm Ibnul J. Farabi, and this is the Unexplained Archive. Tonight, we're stepping into a very modern, very unsettling legend. Episode 37, The Black-Eyed Children, Modern Folklore or Paranormal Encounter. This story doesn't come from ancient grimoires or crumbling castles. It lives on internet forums, in Reddit threads, and in whispered accounts from ordinary people in suburban driveways and apartment corridors. The phenomenon is deceptively simple. The encounter almost always follows a pattern. It's night. A person, alone, is approached by one or two children, usually between the ages of 6 and 16. They're dressed a bit oddly, sometimes in outdated clothing, and their skin is described as waxy or pale. They ask for help, to use a phone, to get a ride, to come inside. They're persistent, almost hypnotically persuasive. But their eyes are completely black, no iris, no white, just a shimmering, dark void. And they project an overwhelming sense of dread. The witnesses report a visceral, animalistic fear, a certainty that these are not children, and that to grant their request would be a catastrophic mistake. The stories end with the witness slamming the door or speeding away, left with a chilling anxiety that lingers for years. One of the earliest and most cited accounts comes from a journalist named Brian Bethel. In 1998, in Abilene, Texas, he was sitting in his car outside an empty movie theater, writing a check. Two boys approached his window. They said they needed a ride to get money for a movie, but their story was full of holes. Brian, a naturally helpful guy, felt an urge to assist them, but as he spoke to them, a profound and irrational terror seized him. He finally got a clear look at their eyes under the streetlight. Pitch black, he wrote, like the eyes of a great white shark. He refused them, drove away shaking, and later wrote about the experience, giving a name and a framework to what countless others had already felt. So what are we dealing with here? Let's put on our analytical hats for a moment. As an engineer, my mind goes to process and pattern. The consistency in these reports is striking. The black eyes, the feeling of dread, the request for invitation. It echoes older folklore, doesn't it? The vampire who cannot enter a home without an invitation. It's a classic trope of supernatural law. These entities, if that's what they are, seem bound by a similar rule. They need permission. This transforms the encounter from a simple spooky story into a psychological battle. They use the appearance of helpless children to exploit our deepest social instinct, to protect the young. They weaponize our own compassion against us. The dissonance between what we see and what we feel is the source of the profound horror. But we have to consider the other, more worldly, explanations. Could this be a classic moral panic, a shared cultural hallucination born from our anxieties? Think about it. The stories proliferated with the dawn of the internet age. They tap into very real, very modern fears. Fear of strangers, fear for our children's safety, the unease of suburban isolation at night. The black eyes themselves could be a neurological glitch, a trick of the light in a high-stress moment that the brain, seeking to rationalize sheer terror, interprets as something supernatural. Our minds are incredible pattern recognition machines, but sometimes they see patterns where none exist. It's pareidolia, but for threats. Yet, to dismiss all these accounts as imagination or lies feels incomplete. The emotional residue these witnesses carry is too heavy, too consistent. I've read hundreds of these testimonies. The people aren't seeking fame. Most use pseudonyms. They're often deeply troubled by what happened, grappling with an experience that shattered their understanding of reality. They sound like me or you, trying to logic out something utterly illogical. That authenticity is what keeps me from filing this away as just a campfire story. This is where my own perspective comes in, shaped by my life between worlds, between the logical frameworks of engineering and the rich, narrative traditions of South Asia. Growing up in Bangladesh, I heard stories of jinn, beings of smokeless fire, capable of appearing in any form. The idea that other intelligences might interact with our world by wearing a familiar, yet uncanny, disguise isn't new to me. It's ancient. The black-eyed children feel like a 21st century repackaging of that very old idea. They are the jinn of the interstate and the subdivision, using the guise of lost kids instead of desert travelers. It speaks to a universal human intuition that sometimes the thing that looks most like us is the thing we should fear the most. So, modern folklore or paranormal encounter? I think the answer might be both. Folklore isn't just fiction. It's often the language we use to describe the unexplainable things that actually happen to people. These stories are a collective processing of a mysterious, recurring experience. Whether that experience originates from a shared psychological trigger, an undiscovered natural phenomenon, or something truly otherworldly, the impact is real. The black-eyed children have become a modern myth because they perfectly articulate a specific flavor of fear. The fear of the wrong thing at the door, the corruption of innocence, and the terrifying responsibility of choice. To let them in or not. In the end, the legend leaves us with a powerful, personal question. What would you do? In that moment of chilling contradiction, would you trust your social programming or that primal scream in the back of your mind? The story's power lies in the fact that we don't truly know. And perhaps that's the point. Some doors, once opened, cannot be closed. Thank you for listening to this deep dive into the shadows. If this episode got you thinking, please share it with someone who loves a good mystery. For more meticulously researched investigations into life's great mysteries, make sure you're subscribed to the Unexplained Archive wherever you get your podcasts. This is Ibnul J. Farabi for Light Not Studios. Stay curious, but maybe check the peephole twice. Visit us at https://www.lightnotstudios.com. Good night.